Hello guys, today I'm ranking every episode of Azumanga Daioh on Tier Maker. Now you may be asking, why is this video being recorded on a Windows 10 computer, and why is this not being edited on CapCut? The last video was literally made on CapCut. Most of all, why is this not the DreamWorks ranking that was teased in the last video? Well, dear viewer, I'll answer those questions at the end of the video probably, except for the DreamWorks ranking question. It's because I haven't seen Dogman yet, and knowing that the Bad Guys and knowing that the Bad Guys 2 is releasing not that far away from now, I really need to watch Dogman and finish my script so I can get it out this year. But in the meantime, I'm ranking Azumanga episodes. So starting off the first episode of the series, it, in my opinion, was an amazing start to the show. It's basically the perfect setup to the series, and is a great showcase as to what it will contain within the 26 episodes that the series contains. It has the comedy, charm, and enjoyment that the series has. It also greatly introduces our central characters. My personal favorite, from the first episode at least, is Sakaki. She's just a charming character who, despite being quiet, is just very charming whenever she shows her adoration of cats. Also, that cat biting her hand is just a funny gag whenever it happens. There really isn't a story within this episode, but I'll just ignore that and just accept it as it is, because it has, we need an episode where we get introduced to our main characters, so it's okay if we get an episode where we don't get a story, especially in the first episode of the series. The animation and the animation in general for this entire series is really good. Maybe simplistic, but at least it's unique. Compared to other animes that either released during its time or has came out after this entire, the series premiered, it's really a unique anime in comparison to what came before and what came next. And honestly, I find the charm to be incredibly enduring for this 2002 anime. And finally, the voice actors in this are very charming and very enjoyable, and since I watched the sub of this, I gotta say, they're very impressive. Better than the dub, since the dub butchers some iconic lines like Satandaki. Although it's probably good. I haven't seen the dub yet, but I'll get to it someday. Overall, a pretty good start to this entire series, and just a good episode all around. S tier. No notes. Moving on. Next up is episode 2. Chio Calvo. Absolute cinema, as Martin Scorsese said once. Next up is episode 3, which is honestly my favorite episode, I'm just gonna say outright, of this entire series. It's so charming, it's so funny, it's holy crap, it's just hilarious outright. Oh, and I am a Naoyama X Ikari supporter. I ship those two, and they're definitely meant for each other. Plus, the voice actors for each character is just top notch. They just sound so amazing when they bicker against each other. It just sounds so genuine, it's so charming, it's so funny. I know you use those two words, the latter two words often, but come on. How could you not love the charm of that this anime has? Because this is one of my favorite episodes from this series, I'm putting this into the special category known as the I Love You category. Moving on. Next up is episode 4. This is the episode with Yukari and Naoyama's Gyat shots. Look, I know this may sound like a joke, but I literally have the episode up and I can show it to you right now. Yeah. that's what you think it is right there. Yeah. Overall, I mean, that's the only noteworthy moment in this episode. I don't know what you want me to say. I mean, it's not a bad episode at all. I mean, those frames are definitely what saves this episode. I mean, like, good, like a 7 out of 10. Like, not much happens, but it's okay on its own, but, like, those shots, I mean, what do you want me to say? A tier. Episode 5, and I know this may be controversial, but I'm just gonna say it flat out right now. I did not care for episode 5. Like, listen to me. Hear me out. It's by all means not a bad episode, but I just find it simply being uninteresting in comparison to the other 4 episodes I watched before this. This is an episode that takes place during summer break, and for a concept like that, it's just not utilized all that well. It's not funny, or it's not even charming at all, at least to me. The only noteworthy moments in this episode was Osaka's horror story, and of course the gag with Sakaki getting bitten by the cat. But other than that, there was no reason to go back to watching this episode. I would not make this my first episode I'd rewatch, if I had to rewatch any episode of Azumanga Daioh. I don't know if people have ranked episodes or have a list of best or worst episodes, but if there really isn't that kind of people out there, I'm just gonna put in C tier. It was okay, but definitely my least favorite from the entire series so far. Next is episode 6. So here's my final rank of every Azumanga Daioh episode. The title card that I placed was a lie. I didn't watch every other episode past the 6th episode. I haven't even finished the anime yet, and happy April Fool's Day. Bye, I guess.